End of international break, so a chance during the break to get some good training. In that regard, I think we've moved Edward Atuesta and Carlos Vela along. Both are back in the first part of training. That's positive. Not yet in full training. I think it makes them questionable for Saturday's game with San Jose, but important for us to see the progress and see them back on the field. Cheeky and Brian arrived back on Friday, late Friday, but are hopefully available for the game on Saturday as well. International breaks, always an opportunity just to, with smaller numbers, work through some things. I really like the energy of the group during this stretch. Positive energy, good tempo in training. And we know that now we've got a really important week coming up, starting with the home game against San Jose and then going away for games with Dallas and Minnesota, where every game now is so big. And, we took some positives from the Galaxy game. Of course, disappointed to not take 3 points, but things that we still thought are going in a good direction. But with the clock ticking, getting 3 points now in games is key. We can't be satisfied with the draws. So we've got to have a really good way to push, and hopefully having more guys back on board, building on the last game, those are the keys. It's great to have him back. He brings football, his way of seeing certain plays, making certain passes, still finishing some great goals. Those are things that come back pretty quickly. The final part of just being a little bit more dynamic, we're trying to work through that part. But it means a lot to everyone just to see him on the field. And there's no doubt that Carlos and his way with that left foot bring some really good moments to training every day.
And about the last meeting with San Jose, what did you see in terms of the things that they switch in the way they play and how to face them this time around, especially with a guy like Trophies that's been having great games lately with the team?
Yeah, Trophies has been very important. San Jose, they make certain choices in every game as to how they set up matchups. And last game they let Trophies play a little bit more centrally, and it gave some freedom. It meant that Espinoza at times on the right defended a little bit deeper. And those are things that they change from game to game. I think we know that the game in San Jose, the last time, we really hurt ourselves with mistakes at the beginning of each half. Put ourselves behind, had some chances, but just didn't do well enough. San Jose is a team that in different moments between long balls, diagonal balls, set pieces, they've got little twists in the way they go about things. And preparing our team to be ready for some of these moments is a key. The man-to-man marking still means that our movement to create advantages, our movement going forward become important.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Josh Gross.
Thanks, Seth. Hey, Bob, good to see you. A few things. One on Carlos. Obviously, he hasn't been able to play at the frequency anybody would want him to. But in one of the ways has he shown his leadership, either in the locker room or in the practice facility? Where are you seeing Carlos sort of take that leadership mantle and do good with it?
Yeah, he's a positive guy. And so even during a period when personally he's not able to give us everything he wants, and where he knows that everybody's fighting through a tough year. I mean, I don't think any of us expected after 28 games to be where we are. And that's especially true when you consider that in most games we still go out and play the football that we have from the beginning, still push, create chances, make it hard for the opponent. But for different reasons, we've just not taken the points. And Carlos is there to provide support, provide encouragement. He's got a really positive way about him, and that always works in the way he leads the group.
And you've seen enough from him. It sounds like you have.
Yeah, he's always been important around here. Let's be clear, on a lot of the special nights, special games, Carlos has still been right in the middle of it, doing his incredible things. So we know what he has brought to LAFC from the start. I know how much he's ready to get back in there, and we just gotta be smart in terms of doing it so that he can be at his best.
And lastly, from here over the break, both Minnesota and Vancouver took losses. Do you guys pay attention to what the other teams you're competing with are doing now? Did those losses lift you? They no longer have a game in hand over you now. Does that influence the locker room at all when other teams fall short that you're competing against?
Yeah, at the end of the year, everybody's following results because the margins are tight, and so if a result goes your way, everybody knows it, and it provides opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Andy Diosa, go ahead.
Hey Bob, how's it going?
Good, Andy.
Bob, you mentioned Cheeky and Brian, such a quick turnaround, especially with an afternoon game on Saturday. I just wanted to know what that assessment process looked like to figure out if they are available, if they're able to play against San Jose.
Yeah, it's unlikely that they'd be starters, and then we will have a chance to get them to the stadium on Saturday, talk to them with the hope that they're available to give us something off the bench.
And Bob, is there any update on Tristan Blackman's injury?
Tristan has been back in parts of training. Another one who's questionable for this weekend, but not far off. So good progress with Tristan as well.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, let's go to Tom Bogert. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for the time, Bob. Sorry to ask another Vela Atuesta question here, but I guess just in general with the season winding down and you guys kind of on the outside looking into the playoffs, how difficult is it to be patient or how impatient, I guess, are you just in general that you're not going to have your, best 11 to be able to call on in these, extremely meaningful games?
It's part of the challenge. We've dealt with the inconsistency in lineups probably for, in some ways 14 or 15 months. I think other guys have stepped up at different times. Certainly we want these guys back. The two injuries are different. So in Carlos's case, with a muscle injury, there's just a part there where being smart so that he's ready all the way. Edward with a shoulder, it's just getting him confident again. There's a little bit just for him feeling confident in the kind of situations with contact.